Hi, little guy. This is your grandma, Suzanne. At the end of the day, I started reading to you at the beginning of the day. This is what my kitchen looks like in the night, and this is what I look like when I'm a little bit tired. But it was a great day. I got some more things planted today in the garden. I planted fava beans, which I'm very excited. I wanted to plant them for years, but you have to plant it when it's cool. So I got it in the ground today when it's cool. The seeds came 2 days ago, and I got them in the ground today. And I planted mammoth melting sugar, which is a sugar snap, no, snow pea. I planted sugar snaps 4 days ago. Um, and I started to plant Savoy cabbage. It's one of many of those kind of crops that I got as seedlings, but then it started to get dark. So I'm very excited because it's looking good, and I'll have them in the ground and covered. So even though we're supposed to get cold on Sunday with a bit of snow or wet snow or something, they'll be under cover. So they'll be good and they'll be starting to establish. And when you come visit, you'll see them. And as you grow a little bit, you'll see them. And then who knows, by next, well, I don't know exactly when, but in a year you'll be eating them. So that's very exciting. But let's go back to the book that we started, which is called April's Kittens. And we were reading Little Munchie, and she was in my lap until a little while ago when Maisie came in and wanted food, and I had to get up. And when I scooped out the food for Maisie, Little Munchie wanted more. So it's just me reading to you right now, except the other guys are around nearby. So let's go back to this book about April's kittens. Now remember that where we left off, the dad of April, was her name April? I don't remember that it was April. Yes, it was. Sheba is the cat who has the kittens, and April is the little girl who has a small apartment with her parents in New York City, and the dad says there's not enough room in this place for more than one cat. But now the cat that they have has four kittens, so they're trying to figure out what to do about that. And the dad has just named them, and he picked the names of, let's see, Charcoal, Butch, and Brenda. And this is a picture of Brenda, and she's extremely cute. What you're going to find in life is that it's very hard, as in impossible, to find a kitten who isn't cute. This is Butch, and I don't think they gave us a picture of Charcoal, but trust me, Charcoal's cute too. So here's where we are. The dad's named them, and then he tells his wife it's time to get rid of some of them. And of course, April's like, well, heck no, we can't do that. So let's see what happens. Okay, so little April says, let's keep them, Mommy. Please, let's keep them, begged April. Her mother thought for a moment. Why don't we let April keep one of the kittens and give away Sheba and the other two? She suggested. April's father brightened. The very thing, he agreed heartily. Why didn't we think of that before? You'd rather have a kitten to play with, wouldn't you, honey? Can you tell from my face how I feel about this? Of course she would, said her mother soothingly. And we'll find nice homes for the others. How would that be, darling? April looked down at the kittens, batting her eyelashes rapidly to keep back the tears. If she had to choose one of them, there was no doubt which it would be. She loved them all, but Brenda, dear little Brenda, with the tiny white feet and her hair parted sweetly in the middle, was far and away her favorite. But how could she give up Sheba? Do we really have to give Sheba away if we keep a kitten? She faltered. I'm afraid so, dear. You know it bothers Daddy to have too many cats around. April sighed heavily and smoothed Sheba's back velvet fur. Sheba, who was scrubbing little Charcoal, gave her hand a sudden lick with her rough tongue, and at that April's tears spilled over and dripped slowly onto the kittens, making wet patches in their soft fur. "But what shall we do with Sheba, Mummy?" "Oh, I don't know," said her mother cheerfully. Cheerfully? Really? "Perhaps Aunt Helen would take her. Sheba would like to live in the country, I'm sure. But if you'd rather keep her and give away the kittens, it's all right, just so long as we don't have more than one cat. That's what Daddy said, you know." Well, there's one solution, right? Evident to all of us. The dad takes up more space than the cat and the three other kittens, so I'm just saying. "Yes, Mummy, I know," said April huskily. The next day was a most important one. The kittens had their first dish of milk. They didn't know what it was to begin with, but when their noses had been pushed into it several times, they began to get the idea. Then they tried to lap, but they had a hard time of it. Either their little bobbing heads didn't quite reach the milk, or else they dipped into it too far and got it up their noses, which made them sneeze and shake their heads. I'm going to have a hard time finishing this book. I have to read what it says here. The silly little things didn't know enough to keep their feet out of the dish, and they had to be lifted out of it again and again. Because the silly little humans don't realize that they don't want human milk, cow's milk. They have a mother, and the mother has milk. They're supposed to walk in the milk because they're supposed to be getting the milk from their mother. Oh, sorry, little guy. "Never mind, kittens, you'll learn," said April's mother. Let's get rid of her, too. She put them back in the box. Here's a picture of them, the kittens in the bowl of milk. Let's see what it says. Pretty soon they could lap milk almost as well as grown-up cats, which, by the way, grown-up cats are not supposed to have. "Never mind, kittens, you'll learn," said April's mother. She put them back in the box, and Sheba gave them each a good bath. They needed it, too, for their faces were all milky and their paws were sopping. Every day after that they had some milk in a dish, and every day they sneezed and bobbled less and got more of the milk down their throats and less on their paws and whiskers. Pretty soon they could lap it up almost as well as grown-up cats. One afternoon Mrs. Dalton, who was a friend of April's mother, came to tea. She brought her little boy with her. "This is Geoffrey, April," said April's mother. The two children shook hands timidly and then backed off and stared bashfully at each other. Geoffrey tugged at his mother's sleeve. "Mummy, Mummy," he whispered urgently, "where are the kitties? You said there would be kitties." "Geoffrey is going to take one of Sheba's kittens home with him, April," said her mother, "and then whenever we go to Geoffrey's house, you can play with the kitten again. Won't that be nice?" "Yes, Mummy," answered April in a low voice. She was very shy with strangers. They all went into the living room to look at the kittens. "Kitties!" cried Geoffrey rapturously, and he plumped down on his knees beside the box. "Oh, Geoffrey, aren't they adorable?" exclaimed his mother. "Which one do you want, darling? Does it matter which one he picks?" This is Butch and Brenda playing. I think I'd rather read the Internal Revenue Code. "Why, no, of course not," said April's mother politely. April's heart sank. She had never said she loved Brenda the best. She hadn't wanted to hurt the other kittens' feelings. And now she was too shy to say anything, with Mrs. Dalton and Geoffrey there. She stood close to her mother and waited unhappily while they fondled first one squirming kitten and then another. "April is crazy about all of them," said her mother. "She thinks we ought to keep all three of them and the mother cat as well." And she and Mrs. Dalton laughed as though she had said something very funny. At last Geoffrey held up little Butch. "I want this kitty," he announced to April's relief. "I like him the best." While they had tea, April's mother explained to Mrs. Dalton how to take care of Butch and feed him properly. And Mrs. Dalton promised to do everything just right and to see that Geoffrey didn't play too hard with him, for Geoffrey was only 4 and might not know at first just how to treat a kitten. After tea, the visitors went home with Butch tucked snugly under Geoffrey's windbreaker. So what we're going to do is pause here. I don't know if I have another book I could read you. I'm going to read you another little book for a moment because I don't think it has a lot of words. Snowballs. It looks kind of cute. It looks like that's a sweater on its head or like a knit hat with candy corn or real corn for its face, a strawberry for its nose, and raisins for its eyes. Snowballs by Lois Ehlert. I feel like we've read a book by this lady before. It's kind of a nice picture, the way she does it. I think I saw birdseed. And these are birch trees. Do you think, let's see, I gotta hold it up right. Oh, cardinal. A female cardinal. This is a pretty good book already because most books don't show you the female cardinal. They just show you the male cardinal. And everybody thinks that all cardinals are like that. But you're not even 10 weeks, right? And you already know that. Just saying. Do you think birds know when it's going to snow? I do. The seeds we left out were almost gone. New snow would soon bury the rest. Oh, this is fun. We'd been waiting for a really big snow, saving good stuff in a sack. Finally, it was a perfect snowball day. Look at these good things that they've been saving. Wonder what they're going to do with them. We'll read this book another time, and you'll be able to name what these things are. Oh my, look at how they did this page. We rolled 3 snowballs and made a snow dad. Look at this snow dad. That little bird up there. Boy, they really did decorate it with a knit hat. Popcorn on this part. Berries. Birds eating the popcorn. And we added a snow mom. Oh, that's very cool. Look, they gave her a pouch with peanuts. And added a snow boy. A snow boy like Isaac. A cool snow boy. And made a snow girl. What I'm going to do is pause now. Can I finish this before? I'm going to pause. Oh, well, no, there's one more. Well, there's more, but for right now, just one more. Look what they did. They gave the sock up here as a little hat and put some hair, forks for arms, and a round snow baby. So I'm going to pause now. We'll finish both of these books tomorrow in our next reading. And I'm just going to say, I love you, Isaac. You are so awesome. Oh my goodness. I've been watching your videos. I've been watching your kicking arms and kicking legs. Oh my gosh. And the way you kick the chimes, and the way you smile. And then when you go on your front, and then you lift your head and you suck your hand and you look so content and happy. I'm so proud of you. I love you so much. But I'll sign off now. You sleep well, and I'll see you tomorrow. I love you, little guy. Bye-bye.